Good morning, 7th grade. All of you open page 49 in your student book. Let's continue the last paragraph in Unit 5, Victoria, Queen of the United Kingdom. Now, final years اللي هي الحياة الأخيرة أو سنواتها الأخيرة. تمام؟ Victoria reigns of 63 years. 7 months and 2 days was longer than the reign of the king or queen before her. Now, what is the length of Victoria reign? It was about 63 years, 7 months and 2 days. تمام. She had become immensely popular. Immensely here it's mean للغاية. adverb here معنات الغاية جدا مهم. تمام. أصبحت جدا مهمة ومعروفة. Her children أطفالها had married into European families. تزوجوا من عائلات أوروبية. And she had more than 30 grandchildren. وأصبح لديها الكثير من الأحفاد. So how many grandchildren she had? She had more than 30 grandchildren. She was known as a grandmother of Europe when she became old. أصبحت أم الأوروبيين and when she became ill and died on 22 of January 1901 aged 81 إذا عن عمر يوهنا 81. The whole population was deeply saddened. حزنوا هون معنى حزنوا أصبحوا very sad. She was buried next to her husband Prince Albert ودفنت بجانب السيد Albert. تمام. Now let's move to question number 1 in on page 50. Okay. Now question number 1, reading comprehension. Read the statements, write true or false, and correct the statement. Okay. Now let's start with number 1. The prince was always with her mother or her tutor or her governess is the number 1. Is it true? Number 2, when she was introduced to Prince Albert, she wanted to marry him. No, it's a wrong sentences because she was not ready to marry him. So number 2, F. Drop wanted to marry him and right was not ready. Okay, right was not ready and drop wanted to marry him. Okay, now let's move to 3. One of her first requests was to have an hour in bed by herself. It's false because one of her first requests was to have an hour by herself. Isn't drop in bed? Drop it, okay, or cross it and write to have, okay, an hour by herself. Okay, yeah. Let's move to 4. After Victoria was crowned, she lived in Buckingham Palace. True. So number 4, true. Number 5, after 861, Queen Victoria wore black dresses every day. True. So number 5, true. Number 6, from 1st May 879, Victoria was named Empress of Britain. No, she is Empress. It's not of Britain, of India. So number 6. Drop Britain and write India. Okay. Number 7, in Victorian period, children did not have to do what they were told. No, here they had to do. So it's a false. Number 7 is false because the children had to do what they do. So drop did not have, drop it, and write had to. Okay. Now let's move to 8. Factories were always a good places to work. No. On number 8, it's a false because factories weren't, just added after were not. Okay, so it's were not good places. Number 9, Queen Victoria was known as the Grand Old Lady of Europe. No, she's not a Grand Lady of Europe. She is a grandmother of Europe. It's not so. Number 9 is false. She is not grand. She's a grand drop it and write grandmother. Grandmother. Okay. Now, number 10, she died and she was buried next to her husband, 1901. Yes, it's true. Okay. Number 10, true. Now, let's move. Who are these people? Match them to the description. بنقول لك مين هدول الناس؟ أوصفيهم مع يعني وصفيهم مع مواصفاتها. Tutor اللي هي المعلم with 5, a person who teaches children in their own homes. تمام؟ So number 1, A with 5. B, governess with 4 اللي هي a woman who looks after and teach children in their own homes. Number C, Prime Minister اللي with 6, the leader of the British government. Number D, husband with 3, the man who is married to a woman. Number E, ruler with 1, a person who controls a country. Number F, empress with 2, a woman who rules an empire. تمام؟ وهدول مسبقا احنا يا سابع اصلا كنا شارحين معانيهم بالقطعة. Okay؟ هلا question number 3, it's your opinion. Think about this question, discuss your answer together. Why do you think Victoria described her childhood as rather sad and lonely? And why do you think that Victoria sometimes refused to see her mother after she was queen? All of these questions, it's up to you. It's up to your answer. It's your opinion. Okay? يعني هذا السؤال أنا it's not important for me إنه مش مهم because إنه أنت آرائك شخصية. تمام؟ Now let's move to question number 4. Scan the text and find 3 people, one of whom was always with Victoria as a child. Now her mother, her tutor and her governess. هدول الثلاث أشخاص اللي كانوا معها بطفولتها. تمام؟ Number 2, 2 requests Victoria made as soon as she was queen. Now, the 2 requests that she had an hour alone, right? This is the first one, an hour alone. And the second request, her bed to be removed from her mother's room to a bedroom of her own. Tamam? Here. So the first request, an hour alone. Write it in your notebook or in your student book, please. An hour alone. This is the first one. The second one, or the second request, her bed to be removed from her mother's room to a bedroom of her own. Okay, her bed to be removed from her mother's room to a bedroom of her own. Okay. Now, 3. The number of children Victoria and Albert had together, 9. They had 9 children. 9 children. Write it in your student book in the space. 9 children. 4. 2 people who died in 1861, Victoria's mother and Prince Albert. As we said in the paragraph, Victoria's mother and her husband, Prince Albert, they died in the same years. Okay? Now, let's move to 5. 3 structures that were built in the Victorian period. Factories. This is number 1. Factories, railways, and bridges. Again, factories, railways, and bridges. Okay? Now, the exact length of Victoria's reign, how many? We said that 63 years, 7 months, and 2 days. Again, 63 years, 7 months, and 2 days. 63 years, 7 months, and 2 days. Okay? Okay, see you later, ya Sabah, and write all the answers in your notebook, please. Okay, goodbye.